Okay, here are 3 things that I do every year instead of setting resolutions. And in case you've already fallen off your resolutions, you can still do this. It's okay. I know I'm gonna post this technically after January 1st, but I kind of do that purposely because sometimes by the end of the first week of January, you've already fallen off the wagon and your goals or your resolutions have fallen off too. So here's what you can do instead. So stick around. Hey everyone, welcome to Mom for Every Season. Don't mind the Christmas tree in the background. We haven't quite taken it down yet, and I was like, hey, why not? It still looks nice. I'm curious if you guys keep your Christmas stuff up for a while after Christmas, or are you one of those people that just like loves to take it down like the next day? My name is Taryn if you are brand new, and today I'm just going to talk about what you can do instead of setting resolutions and just 3 things you can do like right now that you can carry throughout your whole year. If you are brand new, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and stick around because I post videos on everything from habits and goals to motherhood and self-care and intentional parenting. So if that is anything that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And I always love to hear back from you guys, so make sure you comment and hit that like button so I know that this is content you guys enjoy. Okay, so instead of setting resolutions, here are a few things you can do instead. Rather than setting a resolution, having a word for the year that you can put your attentions into. So I know how popular, word for the year is. I've done it for quite a few years now, and I just notice it more and more. And instead of setting a resolution, which often you're really gung-ho, you have this like newfound energy because it's July. It's not July, it's January. So you just want to go full bore at it. But then often, I think like the numbers are really low on how many people actually keep the resolutions, but it's just really low. So the idea with the word of the year is just to really, with everything and any goal or any habit that you do set, it comes down to kind of one thing. I mean, oftentimes I just kind of know what my word is. It just pops in my head. But there are ways that you can kind of play around with it. You can take a piece of paper and just come up with the first words that come to mind. I always, ask myself, how do I want to feel this year? What do I want to accomplish? Certain journal prompts around it, or what do I need more of this year? Last year's video, I kind of went more in depth on how to choose your word, so I'll make sure I put that down in the description box down below as well. And I posted a video last year on this. Last year, my word was alignment, and if you watched my life update from last video, you'll know that my year was probably like for the half part of the year was really aligned and in alignment. But the last part of the year was definitely quite the opposite actually, and it was more about nothing or I was so far from alignment. I was like on this path of unalignment. But in the path of unalignment, I actually grew more aligned, if that makes complete sense at all. It really doesn't. But this year, I have chosen the word courage, and it all comes down to the fact that I think last year I got stuck and I almost contracted in my growth or expansion, like in personal development or really any area of my life. Looking at this year, it just really felt right to pick the word courage because in everything I am choosing to do, it's going to take a ton of courage. And I also have a little side word, I guess. I normally just pick one word to kind of set the intention for the year, but I really wanted to also come down to commitment and just keeping promises to myself because I know how huge that is in my own self-confidence and my integrity with myself and just my general overall happiness. This year I made an intention to go outdoors every day, and I'm gonna, work on these habits and keep promises to myself, and I'm truly committed to all my little habits and goals that I have. And that in itself takes a lot of courage, having more courage in everything that I do so that I'm showing up for myself, I'm showing up for this YouTube channel, or I'm showing up on Instagram, and I really want to start writing on a blog. So I'm going to keep coming back to the word courage. Every time I feel like not doing it, I can come back to courage and just really put my focus into that. And is my choice, going the courageous path, or is it, going the scared and fearful path? If you know what your word is, type it in the comments down below. Let me know. I would love to know what your guys' word of the year is, and how you came about finding it. Okay, number 2 is choosing your future self. So that means choosing, your future self over the excuses. It's choosing your future self over, your comfort zone. It really comes down to making the choices in favor of your future self. So if you have this goal of, for me right now, I want to be a blogger and a writer, I have to really step into what it's like to be a blogger. And last year, I really got stuck in the fear aspect of it. So I would wait until I had inspiration, or wait for an idea. And I quickly learned that that's not how it works. I need to, show up for writing every day and show up for my creativity every day. So I've made a habit, which leads me into the third, is focusing on your habits, and not even necessarily goals, but what are the little things that you need to be doing to move you forward in your goal. And so you're constantly choosing your future self over the comfort, or over the excuses, or the future self over really the life that you have currently. And so if you have a goal or resolution in mind, it's really going to come down to how do you want to feel, what habits do you need to do, what daily things do you need to do to commit to your future self. Every decision that comes down to your goals is going to come down to if you're staying in your comfort zone, or are you choosing that future self. And there's going to be days where you don't feel like doing it, that you just, you want to be lazy, or you're scared, or you want to just, for whatever reason, stay in that comfort zone. We are all used to that kind of feeling. Or you could take the other choice and choose your future self. So right now I'm currently using 2 apps that I've really enjoyed. So last year I had started kind of this habit challenge on YouTube, which I didn't finish as videos, mainly because I think I got caught up too much in the numbers, and I didn't think people were viewing it. They were one of my lower viewed videos, so I just didn't think there was an interest for it. If you guys enjoyed those videos, or you want to check them back out, I'll put them in the description box down below, and I would love to know your guys' input if you'd like to see them come back, because I haven't stopped doing my habits that I was doing. I've kind of evolved a little bit of the practice that I have around them. And last year, from September to December, I decided I was going to add 3 new habits, which I ended up just kind of redoing some of the habits I had done in that habit challenge, because I just felt like 2 weeks wasn't enough. I know they say it takes 3 weeks, or I've seen it, it said that it takes 66 days or whatever. There's so many different days or rules around this, and I think it's different for everyone else. So it might take someone 2 weeks to establish a new habit, while it might take another person 6 months. And I think it's completely dependent on the habit itself or the person themselves. So I decided just to choose 3, and I was going to work on all 3 for 3 months. And I kind of nicknamed it my little triple threat. I kind of got off on a tangent there. But anyway, the apps I'm going to come back to, I'll show here on a screenshot. The first one I used is called Done, and I really like this one because it actually gives you how long you have been on a streak for, what's your longest streak. It gives you all these little analytics, and it really keeps me motivated in this fact that I don't want to break my streak. So if you're the type of person that kind of gets more motivated by that type of thing, then that's for you as well. Then take a look at this app. It's not free if you add a certain amount of habits. So eventually I did buy it because I wanted to expand on the habits. And then the other app that I really enjoy is called Habitica. And I had used this a couple years ago actually, and it just kind of fell off for a bit, but I'm starting it back up again because it's kind of like a little game. And I'll put a screenshot here, but essentially every habit or to-do or little daily you've set up, every time you accomplish something, you gain points and you move up in levels, and you can make your own little character. I think you can get armor and all of that. And there are aspects that you can buy into, but I just strictly use it as a free version. I'm not that hardcore into, like, I guess it's like a game. And it just makes the kind of the boringness of consistency and setting little daily habits, it makes them a little bit more fun. When you take your future self and you make a list of all the little habits or things that you need to do the little action steps you need to do in order to get your goal, or per se your resolution, really honing in on those little habits that are going to make a huge impact in your life. And Darren Hardy has a book called The Compound Effect. It explains all kind of almost the science behind the reasoning of all of this, that you can take two, people, and one reads 10 pages a day and the other does nothing. And then there's someone who's even worse off, I guess. But the person that just does these little daily things, daily habits every day, it keeps growing and growing. So it might take them 6 months before they see any results for whatever goal they're trying to do, like whether it's reading or weight loss, or it might take them forever to see all these results. But in the long run, if you keep at it, that's where the magic happens. Which it's not about perfection, because I've screwed up on all my little habits that I did last year as well. But, I'd have like a week off and then I'm like, I screwed up, but I just kept coming back to it. So this year, one of my little non-negotiable habits is writing every day. And this has been like one of my biggest struggles, because I have these huge, weird, limiting beliefs around writing. And like, I would love to be a blogger, eventually an author one day, which I've never said out loud. But just keeping the consistency of writing every day. When I'm making this video, it's actually January 3rd, and I've already written 3 times, and it's just so little. At first I had to tell myself, I just need to open my notebook every day and write something down. Like, it could be a sentence, it could be a paragraph. I could sit there for 20 minutes, but my little goal my little habit every day is just to open my notebook and write something. And all I did was, I think the first day I wrote 10 minutes, the second day I wrote 20 minutes, and this morning I wrote 20 minutes. And I'm sure as I go along, I'm going to get faster at writing, I'm going to get better at grammar, but I have to realize that it's going to take a little bit of failure and a little bit of yuckiness around my writing to get where I need to be. And that's actually how I kind of started this YouTube channel. My first year, I didn't care about the quality of my videos. I didn't care. There was times when I was like, crap, I have to do a video. I have to get a video up because I said I was going to do one every week. And so I would, last minute just start filming, and I wouldn't even wear makeup. I wouldn't set anything up. I just had to get this video up. And obviously I cared about the quality of content, but not the quality of videography, or I wasn't too huge into the setup and I guess just the video in general. And these habits are just something so minutely small that you're almost guaranteed to accomplish them. Yes, in some of mine I have more difficult ones. Going to bed at 10 is one of the ones I'm struggling with so much this time, because by the time my kids get to bed, sometimes I only have an hour to myself, and I like to try and get stuff done. Either I get trapped in, social media and I've taken too much time scrolling that I lose track of time, which I'm working on. But then I have really easy ones. Right now I actually have one around just being bored, sitting with and being bored. So because I tend to fill my time with things that are either productive or distracting. So if I'm folding the laundry, I'm listening to a podcast. If I am, washing the dishes, I'm listening to a YouTube video. I always find ways, or if like when my kids were younger and nursing, I would try and do stuff on my phone to feel productive or to get out of boredom, because I couldn't just sit there. So right now I have something that I'm just sitting to be bored. I'm not doing anything. My whole thing is just to be bored, to just go with my thoughts, see what comes up, because oftentimes that is where the magic happens. And because I want to have creative ideas for my YouTube channel, insights and ideas for my blog, I need to sit with that boredom, and I need to sit with the kind of empty space part of life. So really, just some of them you can think small. If you get overwhelmed easily, just breaking that down. So again, when I, for writing, if I said write 10 pages, that habit probably would never happen. But my habit is just to open my notebook and write something. Oftentimes, you're gonna just do more. So if it's working out, tell yourself, I need to work out for 5 minutes every day. And when you get to that 5 minutes, you often want to go further. So you want to work out more. So just breaking that down into even smaller things if it overwhelms you. Again, let me know what your word is in the comments down below. And what are 3 little habits that you can add to your life today to move you forward in your 2020 goals? To know what you guys love and enjoy on this YouTube channel for me. It helps this channel to keep growing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week. So bye for now.